Good morning, boys and girls. We meet again with our lesson for today. The last time we met, we were discussing how we make entries in the debtors journal. That is, we were saying whenever a business sells goods on credit, this must be recorded in a journal which is called the debtors journal, the DJ. And so I gave you homework activity 4.3. I hope you have done it. I will be giving you corrections when I'm sure that we have all done it. Now today we are moving on. We are still on the same chapter. I want you to do activity exercise 4.4 on page 85. But before you do that, I'm going to quickly explain what is required of you. Now we are going to be talking now of what happens when those debtors have paid their money. In other words, the business has received money. So we are going to be talking about the cash receipts journal when we have received money from our debtors, and then for the goods that they have bought on credit, which is recorded in our DJ. So we are going to be discussing both the debtors journal and the cash receipts journal. Now, when money is received from a debtor, this is what is happening. So I'm going to quickly explain this part here. In the credit agreement between the business and the debtor, there will be an agreed time for payment when the debtor is expected to pay his debt. In other words, we are saying with this point, when a debtor buys goods on credit, he is given time when he is supposed to settle that amount. So it is stipulated in the in the agreement. He is given the payment time when he must settle his debt. Remember, debt here refers to what? The amount that the debtor owes the business. So when the debtor pays, the debtor can either pay part of the amount. When a debtor pays part of the amount, or when the debtor pays part of the amount, we refer to that as what? As partial payment. What does that mean? It simply means that the debtor has not paid the full amount. Let's say he was owing 2,000 and he has paid 500. That's a partial payment. Or the debtor can also pay the full amount. So when the debtor pays the full amount that he was owing, we say the debtor is what? We say the debtor has settled his account. So every time you see the word settle, it means the debtor paid the full amount. But if it is partial payment, he has paid part of what he was owing. Right? So when a debtor pays the debt, the business will be receiving money, okay? And remember, this is a reminder, remember to say, whenever the business receives money, then we must record it in the CRJ. It doesn't matter where the money is coming from. As long as the business has received money, it must come to the CRJ. So then the additional column must be added in our CRJ, which column is called what? Debtors. Remember, we called it debtors or debtors control. So we'll add an additional column in our CRJ, and is only used, take note of that, we only use this column when money has been received from a debtor. In other words, that additional column that you will have in your CRJ is only used when money has been received from a debtor. When money is received by the business, a receipt is issued. We all know that when you receive money as a business, proof that the money has been received is a receipt which you give to your customer. So in this case, we give a receipt to our debtor, because it's the one who has given us the money. Then the debtor, when we are giving the receipt, will be given the original receipt. So original receipt goes with who? It goes with the debtor. Okay? And then the business will remain with the duplicate receipt. So when the business remains the duplicate receipt, it is therefore the what? The source document that is used in the CRJ. That is basically the theory that we are going to add for today, to say when money has been received from a debtor, it must go to the CRJ, because the cash receipts journal is the one used for all money received by the business. So when we receive money from a debtor, we give the debtor the receipt. We give him or her the original receipt, and we remain as a business with the duplicate, and therefore the duplicate is used as our what? Our source document when we'll be making our entries in our CRJ. Okay, so let's quickly look at an example just to illustrate this. I'll start by showing you transaction for goods sold on credit. So in this case here, I've just picked a transaction from Norway. I will just use it to illustrate this concept. So for March 29, the business, let's just call it Stain Traders. Stain Traders, on 1 March, they sold goods on credit to R. Smith, 2,400, and the cost of sales was 1,200, and you issued an invoice of 0.15. So this is the first transaction where goods were sold on credit. I'm sure you all know that when goods are sold on credit, they are recorded in the debtors journal. So this transaction must go to the debtors journal. Okay, then the next transaction, issued receipt number 4 to R. Smith for 2,400. So it's the same guy here. Here on day 1 is a debtor. He was buying goods on credit, bought goods worth 2,400. Now on the 16th of March, we gave that person receipt number 4. So when you are giving him a receipt, it shows that he's paying, so we are receiving money. So this transaction, the first one goes to the DJ, and the second one goes to the CRJ. So your DJ therefore will be looking like this. Remember, we are selling to the R. Smith. So you come here, we have been told that our source document, the invoice, is 015. We write it there. Then the day is day 1. Okay, who is the debtor? It's R. Smith. And then we come to the sales column. It's given, everything's given, we have nothing to calculate. The amount was 2,400, and then the cost of sales was 1,250. So that is how we are going to record the transaction that happened on the what? On the 1st of March. Okay, then for day 16 now, for day 16, when we now issue the receipt to R. Smith, we are now going to say, record it in the cash receipts journal, the CRJ. So we come here, we say on day 16, receipt number 4, R. Smith is still the person who gave us the money. Remember, in the details for the CRJ, we write the source of the money, who gave us the money, what reason are we, for what reason are we receiving the money. So in this case, we are receiving money from a person or a debtor, R. Smith. So in our analysis of receipts, since we are receiving the money, 2,400, we put that money in the bank because it's the only transaction of the day. Was it sales? No. So once you skip sales, you also skip cost of sales. Hence, we come to this column that we have said our CRJ now will have this additional column of debtors or debtors control. Then we write 2,400. So we only write amounts in this column of debtors control if we have received money from a debtor. So here we must always have a name of a debtor for us to write the name, the amount under debtors control. So this is exactly what you will be doing in your activity. There are some transactions that will be given there. Some are for the DJ and some are for the CRJ. Now, so this is the work that I want you to look at now for today. We are going to do activity exercise 4.4. That is your homework here. Your homework will be 4.4, as you can see there, and it's in your workbook. Take note, you only do part A. It's on page 85 of your workbook. Then I've just put some the information here actually just for quick reference so that I can quickly explain to you. Now remember, when you are given transactions which are mixed up and going to different journals, it will be wise for you to quickly go through each transaction, and at the end of it with a pencil you just write, if it is DJ you write DJ, if it's CRJ you write CRJ, so that when you are done with each and every transaction, you now know how many goes to the DJ and how many goes to the CRJ. So in this case, First one here on day 8, all the information, remember, it's given there on page 85 of your workbook. So I've just duplicated the same information here. We sell meals to Eskom, D1. Remember, D1 means that's data number 1. On account for the staff lunches, 150. So this is the total amount here, right? Remember, you are given your cost of sales, your markup is 40%. So here, this amount that you are given here is the selling price or the sales. So you must calculate your cost of sales. Then they are saying here invoice number 600 was given. That is on day 8. Then day 10, we sell 30 hot dogs. So 30 hot dogs were sold to customer Salsam D2 at 8 rand each. Now remember, when you say 8 rand each and they are 30, it means you must multiply these two numbers, the 30 rand, the 8 rand and the 30 hot dogs that were sold, and then you get to your final amount. Then on day 11, cash sales, you must also decide, does it go to the CRJ or the DJ? Sure, you know what to do there. And remember also, just on number 11, you are given the sales, so you must calculate cost of sales. The markup is still the same. Day 15, Home Affairs Office, data number 3. Bought goods, they bought 20 lunches at 15 rand each on account. So in this case, again, you must calculate how much in total was owed by Home Affairs. Then 17, we received a check from Water Board, that's data number 4, 450. So this one is a data who is paying. Where does it go? You know, we are receiving money, then obviously it must go to your CRJ. Then day 22, make merrick and cake for waterbed. In other words, we supplied some items for this guy, and it was on credit again, and this was provided on account 350. Calculate the cost of sales there. Cash sales, cash. Remember, these are cash sales. You must know cash sales, it's CRJ. Credit sales is DJ. Then you just calculate your cost of sales. Then provide catering service to A. Alba, data number 5, gave him invoice for the amount was 400 rand. You decide whether it's DJ or CRJ. And then lastly, Eskom, data number 1. In other words, we are repeating. Remember, we had a transaction with Eskom on day 8. Now it's him again. Paid the balance that they owe to us directly into our bank account. Here, you are not given the amount, but you are told the clue here. The clue for you to know how much was paid is this one. So it means you simply go through all the transaction and look how many transactions do we have with Eskom. So by this date, how much was Eskom owing the business? That is the amount that was actually paid. So that should not give you a problem to calculate. So what you are required there is to enter the above transactions in the DJ. Right, some are going to the DJ, okay, and then also end the CRJ. So some of these transactions, some are for the DJ and some are for the CRJ. Which ones are for the DJ? All credit sales or all goods sold on account or services provided on account. What are for the CRJ? All money received, whether from data or for cash sales, as long as money was received, CRJ. So that is what you are going to be doing, and I've repeated it here, that your markup is given here, and your markup is 40%. Take note, when you calculate your cost of sales, you are given markup. Cost price, remember, it's always 100%. So if you are adding 40%, you are adding 40% on top of 100%. That makes it 140%. Then you decide, are we using a proper fraction or improper? Always when calculating cost of sales, we use a proper fraction. When calculating sales, we use an improper fraction. So in this case, we are calculating cost of sales. So we should be using a proper fraction, which obviously will be 100 over 140. Alright, so this is the work that I want you to look at, and then that's your homework that you're going to do. Remember, it's in your workbook. There is a space for you to do workings there. Show your